Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to SeahawkTalk here on the Salve Athletics Network. I'm your host, Andrew Pizzelli, coming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope through Twitter. We are live every single day, 3 to 4 p.m. on those platforms. We've got a great show for you lined up here today. We will be joined by special guests Zach Klon, David Lunn, and then Aaron Phillips and Brianna Del Valle, some alumnus from our women's basketball team, to round out the week. Can't wait to talk to them and our producers, but first, like always, we remind you to keep your distance.
Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity. Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity. Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity. Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity.
That is Ed Habershaw with his rendition of Keep Your Distance by The Shake, a Rhode Island-based band with a message that we can apply worldwide and all the time. Social distancing, hand washing, mask wearing, all those things. We've heard all about it, and we will continue to remind each and every person every day to do those simple and easy things. Want to bring in the producers now, Joey Morelli and Mike DeFusco. Fellas, how are we doing here on Friday?
Doing really good today. How about you?
Good. Joey?
Good. Cold. It's much as determined the
Always
outdoors
cold.
is.
Always cold. Somebody, so go fund me
Winter.
for a camera and a blanket, I guess, or a long sleeve shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the restaurants are giving them out for free.
That's true. Anyways, I know we have some interesting, we have some fun stories to get to, but I think Joey, you have the important news. So I think we'll go ahead and let you share what you have to share here first at the top of the
In
program.
a twist no one expected, I have the important news. Yeah, I was going to talk about a different thing, but it was only like a paragraph of content, and then I got this email from Salve about spring preparations, and it's pretty. I mean, it's fairly generic of what you'd expect a school to send you about something like this. The basic gist of it is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A lot of what we're doing is the same as what we were doing before because it worked so well. They want people to quarantine before showing up. A new thing is they want people to get at least one test before you show up, and then they'll test us while we're here, which I guess is not a terrible idea. Moving, et cetera, but the important thing, the thing that we care about, sports coming back as early as February 15th, which is cool. I don't know what it means by spring sports. What was the original plan for spring sports? Wasn't that also February 15th? Do you remember?
Well, I mean, it's different layers of things. So, like, athletes will be back. About when competitions will start, they're hoping to have winter sports, meaning the hockeys and basketball, begin competition February 15th, based off of this release. The spring sports, now some spring sports, I mean, lacrosse in years past has started as early as February 15th, even February 13th. And usually that game, they call it the Frostbite Classic, at least on the men's side. And baseball has started as early as March 1st, March 3rd. Mike, I know you've been a part of some of those early season games here before the teams usually head down to Florida. That's in there as well. No spring break, spring break trips.
Oh yeah, that gets important.
This year, which obviously means no spring break for the teams. So no trips to Florida. I don't think anybody was really probably expecting or planning for that anyways. But another year without Florida. And yeah, a lot of it's dependent upon the conference, if the NCAA is going to host championships or not. So again, it's just kind of, we're getting more target dates. We're not getting answers. We're just kind of getting the dates for which we may get more answers.
That's how you start planning. Is you write, I'm gonna plan it on this day. That's step one of planning. That's step -1.
We're going to start planning. We're going to begin to think about possibly planning, and then we'll have the potential thoughts of those plans. We'll have a meeting to talk about the meeting where we're going to plan,
Exactly.
right? That sort of stuff.
And that's basically all that's in here. It's pretty much exactly what you expect. There's no big crazy news that no one saw coming in.
No,
it's
just
I saw.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's just putting in writing exactly kind of the things we've been hearing about anyways. Yeah. But if you haven't read any of this, I mean, Salve today sent this out. The university sent this out. It's going to be plastered all over the website.
Yeah. Give it a once over.
For coming back for the spring semester, all that information is available and will continue to be updated on the Salve website.
The spring semester, as I like to call it, winter semester part 2.
Yeah, basically here in New England.
When you're in New England.
Mike, what do you have here to lead off today's program?
Today I thought I'd just more pose like a question towards you guys. If anyone saw New England last night, it didn't look too good, and every game, every week, we're more and more mathematically eliminated. However, New England, and more specifically, Bill Belichick has declared Cam Newton is still the starter. We had talked a little bit about this in pre-show, but I thought I'd just get your guys' takes on it. Should he remain the starter? Will he remain the starter? And why is he going to remain the starter?
Should he remain the starter? No. He's regressed. He has not shown any progress at all on the field, and I think for the guy's own good, it'd be better just to sit him down and let him kind of get himself right. Will he remain the starter? Yes, because as long as they're mathematically alive for the playoffs, the team is committed to him. He's their quarterback. He's their kind of the spiritual leader of the team, so to speak. And I think as long as they have a mathematical chance of making the playoffs, Belichick's going to stick by the guy. A veteran guy who was on the street. He tried to do him the solid of bringing him in. He still has some incentives he can reach, and as long as the playoffs are alive, those incentives, which kind of works out to $2.5, almost $3 million for Cam, they're going to play him just to try and do right by him. Win or lose, I think after next weekend, they could be eliminated from the playoffs. And if that's the case, and it's looking like Cam, listen, you don't even have a mathematical chance of making the playoffs and or getting these incentives. You've given us all you can give. We've given you all we kind of want. We need to see what we have in Jarrett Stidham, and not in mop-up duty where a defense is just teeing off on you like the Rams did last night. We want to actually game plan and see what Stidham can do against real competition, and have that not competition be the Jets in Week 17. The Jets are not competition, so I'd like to see Stidham getting action in games, real games with meaning, and not against the Jets. So Stidham should be starting their next game, but he won't. They're gonna ride with Cam as long as possible here. So that's kind of the deal.
We were just talking about planning. So, Bill Belichick doesn't just have a thought about planning, or he's planning to plan. He's going to start planning for next year. Who are we going after? I think Jimmy Garoppolo. Could we see a return? Last question. Could we see a return?
If the Niners decide they can easily get out from his contract after next year. I think the guy that the Patriots could look at, there's some rumblings. Don't sleep on a guy like Matt Stafford with the Lions. They could be looking to kind of just totally remake that organization, ship him out, bring in a new head coach, tank for a year, and draft a guy and just kind of hit the total reset the year after. So that's a guy that could be available. And if I was the Patriots, I would throw a first-round draft pick at the Lions to get Matt Stafford yesterday. So,
yeah. Last guy I was going to mention was Sam Darnold. That's another one potential good fit, but we'll see. I guess going forward.
So who's the guy? So I was gonna ask. I was like, if they don't have Cam Newton, who the heck is their starter? Who's their second quarterback?
Jarrett Stidham. They drafted him 2 years ago to be, and he was.
Or is he just?
He was a decent college quarterback, but you drafted the guy, so they like him. He's in your system. You got to know what he has. Yeah. Throw him out there. If he can't do anything and he's inept, now you know. Now you know what to address in the offseason.
They haven't had a chance to see if he's any good. I wasn't sure if, I don't know, that could have been someone from another team. I don't know.
Yeah.
With names of most players. I know big names.
Listen, if you're familiar with the backup quarterback of your team, it means you're a bad team, and that's a hallmark of bad teams. Is you're enamored with the backup quarterback. If you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks, as they say. So.
Yeah, should we hide him maybe just so they think he's good? We can get more trade value. I don't know. Maybe might be a good idea.
No, if Stidham's not your quarterback, he is getting cut and he'll be bagging groceries in a week.
Soon enough.
Speaking of kind of a sportsy thing, I wanted to bring in. This is just real quick. Bleacher Report put out this thing, which next gen graphics are better, and I'm just amazed at where video game graphics have gone in the last couple of years. I mean, just the detail of like the player, like all the little, like you can see individual hairs here. They actually worked in LeBron's receding hairline, which I think is funny.
That is, yeah.
You know what
But
else is funny?
the
They're
detail in
comparing-
the crowd and everything is just unreal.
They're comparing these two sports. It's the same people who made these games. It's the same graphics.
Oh yeah,
When you're showing it to me, I'm like, they're the same thing.
yeah. But
They
what's
are good,
incredible?
though, like-
What's more incredible than seeing the graphics now is because you kind of get spoiled. This is where we've come from. This is LeBron. This is LeBron. This is how long LeBron's been around. This was the first video game he was in, and this is the next one he's going to be in. Look at that.
Wait,
That's unreal.
Tell the audience which one was that? How many years ago was that?
That was 2K4, so that was 2004. That was his rookie
That's
year.
important.
That looks like a drawing. Like someone sketched that. That was still when they were
Yeah.
doing sketches for these.
And
games.
at the time, we thought that was mind blowing. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
That's a fact, like,
it's in 3 dimensions. Look at it. So yeah,
I guess I'm spoiled because that's
you
what I
get
grew
very,
up with.
You get very spoiled.
Yeah.
Now it's to the point where that one below is not just like, oh, this is cutscene graphics. No, that's what it looks like real time playing the game.
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty unreal. That's why you saw people, at the beginning of the pandemic when we had no games, they were like, well, I'm going to put LeBron and Giannis on the Celtics, and I'm going to hit sim. I'm just going to watch the computer play itself. That's kind of what we were reduced to without actual games.
Hey,
and you can enjoy it because it looks so good.
We use the audience sounds from the games for a reason.
Exactly.
No, yeah,
They're realistic.
They
Yeah.
used they had Fox during the baseball season used
Yeah, they
the
did.
2K audience track and its AI to
Which is-
pump in the crowd noise.
To be fair,
And they
it's
even
probably-
superimposed the crowd, and then people thought that was weird, so they
was
stopped
probably
doing it.
recorded from real games, but still.
Yeah. So a little bit of fun stuff there. So, fellas, I'm gonna let you guys get to work producing the show behind the scenes, and we will talk to you again at the end of the program.
All right.
All right, that's Joey Morelli and Mike DeFusco, the producers here on Seahawk Talk. We're going to get to our first guest of the day, the head coach of our men's ice hockey team, Zach Klon. Zach, how we doing?
Hey, what's going on, Andrew?
I wanted to get your thoughts quick here while we were just talking about the video game stuff. I know video games are a big part of hockey locker room culture. All these guys are all over the games and stuff. But was video games ever a thing that you got into? Were you ever a video game guy at all, or have you become a video game guy? Where do you fall?
No, I never really got hooked onto them. Definitely my roommates did, but I was never really looped into that.
What was the big game that your roommates played back whenever? Well, you don't have to. Just tell us what the game was. You don't have to put a year to it.
Tiger
Yes.
Golf.
Nice. So you prefer? Let me go out and hit the links. Hey, let me go rip you guys in real life, huh? Get off the console, right?
I would much rather play in real life than play with a controller for sure.
Yeah. How's the recruiting thing been going? I know so much has been virtual here. How has that process been for you so far?
It's been good. Starting to get a nice lead and talk to some guys here. Again, it's definitely it's different doing it, watching games on TV than being there in person. But just to be able to watch them and then to give a call to a guy and be able to talk about their game and start the recruiting process. So we're deep into that right now. It's definitely different. A lot of guys would wait until summertime, end of spring, to start really, locking it down. But guys are a little bit more eager, I think, this year just to know where they're playing, rather than, hold out.
Yeah. With so much being virtual and people, if you can't watch the game live, people are submitting film. What are kind of the do's and don'ts? I'm sure you've gotten some great film. I'm sure you've gotten some not so great film. Not necessarily because of the play on the ice, but just because of the quality of the footage. What would you say are kind of the do's and don'ts? What should people be doing if they're looking to send film to you?
The big thing is make sure you show your full game. A lot of guys will just, send in their highlights of scoring goals. But, send some clips of their, the penalty kills, send some 5-on-5 in the D zone, little things that you're doing on the ice that, make big things happen. Make sure that they're sending those clips, and doesn't have to be, 30 minutes, 20 minutes of different clips. Is just, combined it into 5 to 8 minutes, and send it, but make sure that it's not just, their highlights of scoring goals, but to do, show a little bit of their full game.
Because you need the context, right? I mean, everybody could just loop together, goal, 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 goal. But if you don't have the rest of the game, you kind of don't get the context of maybe how much they're impacting the game.
Right. Just a strong defensive play, blocking shots, taking hits to make plays, how they get in on a forecheck, how they, play on the wall, different little things, parts of the game that way. We want to see that. So not just a highlight film, but, to give a little bit of everything.
Yeah. What would you say is the hardest position to play in college hockey right now, and has that changed over time?
Goalie for sure. You can only carry so many, and you can win or lose a game. So I think the pressure is definitely on the goaltender. Forwards, defensemen. If you're struggling that night, different guys can step up and have a game to make up the difference. But, the goalie position, all eyes are on it. Your mistakes are seen almost more than, the big save. So for those guys, the mental, capacity that they have, and it takes a special person to really be good at that position.
Yeah. Would you say that's always been the hardest position in hockey, no matter what?
I think so. I definitely think so. Just again, because all eyes are on you. You can't hide. Yeah. There's no hiding when you're in net.
Yeah. What's the hardest to coach?
Oh, that's I don't know. I think goalies you tend to on game day is just stay away from them. Let them, come into their
Let
own.
them be in their world, man.
Right. So, for those guys, it's kind of stay out of their way, and during the week, it's you can help them with, improve or things that they need to look at. But, goalies, a lot of them are big tape guys. They want to see tapes. They want to see, their positioning. So for those guys, they have their routines by the time they get to college. And for us, it's fine tuning them and just kind of pushing them in directions to work on things that we think they need to.
Yeah. Seahawks Take Flight wrapped up over a week ago, the big fundraising effort for the university and for all of our teams. How did that go for your team?
It went well. It's I believe it's still open. We're still looking to build on top of what we have. It's such a big part of what we do, and what it brings to the program. So that is still open for donations. We're going to be sending out another a link, or that same link that is still open right now, for people that weren't able to give at the time. So for us, it goes a long way. It makes the guys a lot more comfortable. So for us, we're always looking for, whether it's alumni, local businesses, families, different ways to raise money for the program to make it a little easier on the guys. And so we're always looking for that.
Yeah. Kind of personally, Zach, how are you preparing for the holidays? You making sure you get those Christmas family pictures taken care of, all that jazz?
We are. Yesterday was a very big day in Jamestown. We have a volunteer fire station, so they put Santa on top of this old 1950s or 60s fire truck, and every night during this week they drive different places. So yesterday was our neighborhood. So Gracie, they heard the siren. They play Christmas music, so we had to run out there at about 7:15, and Santa stopped by on the fire truck and gave some candy canes. So she's very excited. So we're getting there a couple weeks out, and I think this will be a fun year just because of her age and how excited she is.
Yeah. In normal times, what is your favorite part of the holiday season?
Normal, I would say definitely the tree hunt. Going out and cutting down the tree is definitely my favorite. Then there's also, you have to watch Christmas Vacation once or twice. So, but just being with family and friends and having, usually, if it's a normal year, we're playing right up until, a couple days, before the guys go on break. And then for us, it's mainly recruiting. There's a lot of Christmas tournaments. So for us, it's usually, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day off, and the guys usually come back on the 26th, 27th. So this year it'll be nice to be able to shut it down for a little bit longer and, watch the tournaments from home and not have to travel. So this year, just really trying to take advantage of the time. It's kind of a blessing in disguise being able to be around some, the family a little bit more at this time, because I can't remember the last time that it wasn't I wasn't able to stay home and have some good family time. So going to definitely take advantage of that. Looking forward to it.
Is this the most rested you've been at this point in the year as opposed to normal, or do you feel just as tired as always?
It's you definitely miss being on the ice with the guys and the day to day and competing on the weekends. It's definitely something different, but for us, other than that, there's still that recruiting, still being on the phone with recruits and other coaches, trying to every day grow as a coach. So whether that's, talking with other coaches, whether that's, getting into a book that you didn't have time before to read. So for me, it's trying to do something every day to better myself, and then also just make sure that we're staying on the recruits and getting the right guys to take a look at the university and ultimately, hopefully, decide to commit here.
Awesome. Zach, thank you so much for taking the time. Glad you're doing well. Enjoy the next week. We'll catch up with you again on Friday. I always appreciate you taking the time.
Hey, you as well, and stay safe. Good to see you, Andrew.
All right. Thank you. Take it easy now. That's Zach Kalon, the head coach of our men's ice hockey team. We're going to go next to the head coach of our women's ice hockey team, David Lunn. David, how are we doing?
Guys, doing well. How you doing, buddy?
I gotta ask you first. Every week we go to you, you're in your car, you're out and about, you're surfing, you just got out of the water, you're walking. How much do you try? Is that a big thing for you, trying to make sure you spend time outdoors and get outside?
Yeah, I mean, I try to as much as I can. I think it's where I'm in between things when I'm talking with you. But a lot of times too, I'm stuck in the house with the baby, or on the phone, on the email. So I'm not out as much as you think I am. I just make it appear to be. It's all a show. It's all an illusion.
It's all here. Don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly.
That sort of thing. You mentioned you are busy as well. How's the recruiting going? How's that aspect of everything going right now for your team?
It's going well. Unfortunately, with everything going on, I've had to kind of put certain things in the back burner, but now I'm able to catch up with it a little bit, just with school kind of being on remote right now, and not as much in-person stuff. So I'm able to kind of catch up with recruiting. So right now it's full bore recruiting for us. Just trying to identify talent and talent that we need in certain holes, and that that are eager to come here, that are looking for be a good fit for Salve.
Yeah. With everything going on, so much of the recruitment process has been virtual, and that means probably more and more people are sending, if you can't watch a game or be there, they're sending footage of a game, or they're sending you highlight stuff. And I'm sure there's good film and there's bad film. What are kind of the do's and don'ts if somebody's looking to send film to Coach David Lunn? What advice would you give to people doing that?
Yeah, I personally like the full length stuff, just because it allows me to watch the individual, in total environment, as opposed to just the selective environment, if you will. It gives me opportunity to see what they're doing away from the play, without the puck, and what the rest of the competition's doing within the play too. It's not just such a narrow scope of clip of seconds or of time. It gives me a full length of everything, of the environment, the competition, their abilities, and on top of that, it's kind of a little, it allows me to recruit some of the other ones that are out in the game too as well. Some of the opponents that they're playing, maybe even a teammate. It gives me that opportunity to watch again everything, and it gives a little bit more of a bigger bang for the buck.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned that there about being able to see everybody else. That must happen a lot, right? You go to a game and you're there for one person, and wow, their teammates having quite a game. How often has that happened? Maybe in your career, where you've gone to someplace to see one person and somebody else really popped.
Yeah, absolutely. It happens all the time. And I try to match when especially when I'm going to in person or at least watching online. Checking an opponent that I haven't seen yet allows me to see a team or some individuals that are at least for me a little less recruited on that aspect. It gives me another potentially 30 pair of eyes to look at, or 30 new numbers to look at, 30 new names. So it's good in that respect. Absolutely, I definitely enjoy it, and trying to find the hidden talent, or at least for me the gem that I haven't seen yet, and it's always fun kind of chasing that rabbit around a little bit.
Yeah. Seahawks Take Flight wrapped up. Just talk about how that fundraising effort went for your team.
I think it went well. My first year, I don't really know the whole back history on women's hockey and giving, or athletics for that matter. But from what I could tell, they had the different teams up there. I thought we were right in the mix of everything in terms of the total number of dollars we were able to raise, and the individuals that were able to give. So I was happy and excited to see that there are a number of women's hockey fans and Salve alum and Salve women's hockey fans out there to give to the program. So that'll be definitely some money that'll be put to good use for sure.
Yeah. At the top of the program, we had a bit of a video game discussion. I'm not sure if you caught this, and I'll bring in this image again. We were talking about
Sure.
There was this little poll today put out by Bleacher Report. It was about which next gen game are you most looking forward to, and they were sharing the graphics, and the graphics look phenomenal. They get better and better every year. Well, it made me think of this. I mean, this is what LeBron looks like now versus what LeBron looked like in his first ever video game, which is in 2004. We've come a long way. It's crazy to think about. At the time, we all thought these graphics are amazing. So it kind of led us to have a little bit of a video game discussion. Did you ever get into video games? I know teams and locker rooms can get into the video game thing. Did you ever get into any video games?
Yeah, I mean, I was into my fair share of video games. Obviously, I grew up in an age when everything was starting to kind of catch its stride. The N64s, the PlayStations. I'm sure I'm forgetting some consoles there, but yeah, for sure, I played my fair share of 007, GoldenEye, and Mario Kart. And when I was in college, the Modern Warfare was big. So my the brother-in-law still has a console. So when I'm able to see them for family gatherings, we'll jump on the sticks and kind of bring back some old memories. But I do not own any video games currently. I don't have time for them, unfortunately. But yeah, a lot of good memories back in the day that were spent, staring at the TV screen 6 inches in your face, trying to bury your opponent.
I was going to ask you named a lot of them there, which is good. But
yeah.
A favorite sports video game and a favorite non-sports video game.
I was a big hockey fan, so all the hockey games are always fun. The NHLs, 2000, 2K, 2001, all those ones are, and then non-hockey were the first-person shooters. The Modern Warfares, the 007s. Those are always fun games for sure.
The classics. David, in normal times, what would be your favorite part about the holiday season?
I love to eat. Food is where it's at. So a meal, Christmas Day meal, Christmas Eve meal, any meal that I could have multiple options on the table and surrounded by family was always the highlight. So that that's going to definitely be missed this year for sure.
Yeah, having the big family gathering, but nothing's precluding any of us from pigging out. So what will be on the menu this year for Christmas?
I guess I should step back. A home cooked meal, not by me. So I'm not sure what we're planning yet, but I was able to put together a nice little meal for the immediate family, my wife and I, and the baby, for Thanksgiving. So I'm not sure what we're doing for Christmas. I'm sure we'll do something, around that, but we'll see. To be determined.
Awesome, David. Thank you so much for always taking the time. No, you're a busy man, but appreciate you coming
No
on
problem.
here each and every week to
Absolutely.
chat with us.
You got it. Thanks, Paz. Appreciate the time.
All right, that's David Lund, the head coach of our women's ice hockey team. We're going to take a very short break and be right back with 2 alumnus from our women's basketball team. Don't go anywhere.
So you want to be a Seahawk? Let's make sure you wash your hands, keep your distance, wear your mask, and love your Seahawks.
Sammy, no mask?
Come on, Sammy. I know it's pumpkin spice season, but you can't bring drinks to class.
We have simple rules here, Sammy. Get out. Come back when you can follow them.
You gotta take care of yourself and others, even if you are Sammy the Seahawk.
Welcome back to Seahawk Talk. I'm your host, Andrew Pizzelli. We'll be joined now by two members of our former members of our women's basketball team, Erin Phillips and Brianna Del Valle. Ladies, welcome to the program. How are we doing?
Hi.
Doing well. Good to be.
I love the Christmas tree. Already good to go.
Yeah.
Was that up like day after Thanksgiving? Or was it ready to go?
Close to it. Yeah, we got all the boxes out and ready to go. So yeah, gotta get it right.
Yes. For each of you, we'll start. Erin, we'll go by tenure here. What do you remember most about your time at Salve Regina as a whole?
Yeah, just the community. Honestly, it's a small campus, small classes. Obviously, being a part of a team helped that as well. Just kind of miss the community of Salve as a whole. It was a great place to go to school, and obviously being by the water helped as well. So definitely enjoyed that.
I think the same as Erin. It brought me some of my best friends. Erin and I didn't even actually play together or go to school together, and I've seen Erin outside of college and Salve, I think, more than some people that I actually did go to school with, because it's just athletics and Salve as a whole just brings you together as a community and gives you a family from all over the country that you just would never meet any other way. So that's what I miss.
Yeah, you guys missed by this much. What's your favorite memories of being on the basketball team specifically?
Oh, I think I miss like the practices, honestly. And that sounds weird, but those are some really fun times, all the drills that we did and the competition. Obviously, the bus rides to game as well were really fun. And, just kind of being a part of a team and just like I saw them more than I saw my own family when I was in college. So we got really close, and I really miss those times with them for sure.
I don't know if practice was my favorite. But yeah, I think just there's really, it's hard to pinpoint. Obviously you love when you win and when you win championships, which Erin did more than I did, but just being together in any way that you are as a team, whether it's a team dinner or whether it's a practice or traveling to a game, I think just being together as a whole unit was the best part of Salve.
Yeah. Championships or not, Coach has described each of you, and I'm talking about Coach Hughes, as two of the fiercest competitors she's ever been around. For you guys, where does that come from? Was that something that was always with you, or was that something that got instilled in you?
Yeah, well, I have 4 older brothers. I basically was just growing up trying to, compete with them, trying to keep up. And, we, as a family, we're all so athletic and into sports. So that competition, I just kind of like grew up in it. And it helped me in a lot of ways and still is today. So, yeah.
I think what made me the most competitive on the basketball court was probably playing against my older sister my whole life. we were only 18 months apart, so we overlapped on teams a lot, and she was a lot bigger than me and stronger than me. So I would try to like beat her up and be stronger than her and bigger than her. I couldn't really, do anything about my height, but just constantly trying to just beat her, I think. And that's really where I was always undersized for my position. And I think I learned a lot of my strength and kind of moves, whether they were legal or not, from trying to beat her and play against her for so long. So
it's all about utilizing those elbows, right? They can't call it every single time. Now, I'll kind of give you guys the opportunity. We got, Coach describe you guys. Describe Coach.
I'm definitely competitive. We actually started together. So her first year coaching was my first year. So, we went through the growing pains together, and she is definitely a ferocious competitor herself, and, pushes each other and all of her, players to be the best that they can and challenges us every day. And I think she has done an awesome job with her career at Salve so far. So it's really awesome to see.
I think she is very fierce. She obviously is undersized, but you would never know it with her personality. And on the court, there were really no excuses because she could do everything really that she was asking us to do. So I think her competitiveness and drive really translated to us as well.
Yeah. So, what have each of you been up to in the real world, so to speak?
Oh gosh. So I'm actually a teacher. I teach PE at a charter school in Chelsea, so Excel Academy Charter School. And actually, after I graduated, I did have a little coaching career at Wentworth. So I coached there for about 5 or 4 years, but really knew I wanted to get into teaching. So been doing that, and it's been great. Really enjoy it.
I have been near Erin in Boston. I've been a labor and delivery nurse for the past 5 years. So I've been delivering babies since I've been at Salve, and it's the best job ever.
So both of you right now are working in fields that are those frontline, essential type of jobs, education, nursing. Obviously, thanking both of you for being in those positions and the work you're doing. It's tough on everybody right now. What advice would you give to anybody who's, say, a senior right now that's a education major or a nursing major about the world that they're going to be thrust right into?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm fully remote right now, so it's definitely challenging me as a teacher to, be creative, get our students, just kind of involved in school again. So I think, just really kind of be ready for whatever comes your way, because obviously this year is nothing what we expect it to be. So just kind of be ready for anything to be thrown your way, I guess, is like the best advice to give at this point.
Yeah, definitely 2020 has been so unexpected. But I think it's important for any senior, anyone, going into the real world right now, to know, it is, especially in nursing, it's a scary time to be a nurse. It's a scary time to be a teacher. There's so much unknown. So just to be able to roll with the punches and know that you're not alone, and so many people are trying to figure things out right now. So whether it's your family, your friends, there's always people there who can help you kind of navigate this new world that we're in.
That being ready for anything, that mental toughness, roll with the punches. Do you think being an athlete helped having that kind of mentality and being able to handle that type of situation in a way?
100%. Yeah. You have to be ready for anything on the basketball court or tennis court or whatever field. And, I think that definitely prepares you, your mindset. It's the pressure too. Like if you're under pressure, you can handle that, right? If you're at the free throw, hopefully you'll be able to make that free throw shot. But the same kind of thing if you're, in your job, just kind of performing the best you can.
I totally agree with Erin. it translates in more ways than you can even say.
Erin, you mentioned how you had been involved in coaching a little bit after school. Any future coaching aspirations? And when it gets to you, Brianna, the same thing. If you've had any involvement in coaching.
Yeah, so currently I do coach the middle school team that I'm teaching at. So that's been a really fun experience. It's actually we play at the same gym. Coach Hughes took us to actually do some volunteer work during winter break when I was at Salve, and it's the same gym that I'm actually going to now and practicing with the kids and stuff. So I enjoy it. It's a different level for sure, but I really love getting younger kids involved in the game. So hopefully keep that up.
I don't have any current plans to be in coaching. My now husband, Eric, who also went to Salve, he was a Division II assistant for basketball for the past 5 years. So I think I'm a little
coach out.
So we're taking a little break here.
People talk so often about, and you guys already kind of mentioned it, the Salve family. And how much contact do you still have with coaches, teammates, classmates to this day?
Yeah, I mean, so much contact. We talk a lot, whether if it's even before the pandemic, like going to baby showers, bridal showers, weddings, things like that. We really do stay in contact. And like Brie mentioned before, I never played with her and I never really went to school with her, but we have seen each other so much and we've gotten a really great friendship. And, so I think that's just telling of how much Salve basketball is such a great family and so close together.
Yeah, you're really a part of a family, regardless of who you played with. It's just Salve basketball is Salve basketball, whether it's coach or any other player, any of the younger players. We all have our contact info. We can get in touch with each other. It's really just it's a great family.
This year has presented so many different challenges and unknowns. This year's team, we still don't know if they'll get the chance to take a court and play this year. But if you could, what would be your message to the 2020-21 women's basketball team?
Well, that's a tough one, but I think just kind of remember the times that you've had with your teammates. You're going to look back 10 years from now, 12 years from now, whatever, and just remember this season. Obviously, for not what we all want it to be is like winning games and things like that, but you're just going to remember what you went through, and that will always be a bond that you have together with each other. And hopefully, fingers crossed that something happens, they do end up playing, but you'll always have these memories of this season.
Yeah, I can't imagine losing out, especially for the seniors, on what could be your senior year and your last time playing, and just not knowing if you're going to be able to or what the season's going to have. So for them, I'm sorry that this is how this year is going. But like Erin said, the majority of the good times that you remember from college weren't on the court during a game. They were with your teammates in the locker room. They were, walking around campus, getting lunch with some. Well, I don't know if you guys are allowed to do that. You're not, but like other times with your teammates make your college career. And I know that this isn't the college career that anyone would have expected or asked for, but just to make the most of it, because they really are the best years that you're going to have.
Awesome. Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time to come on here today. Great to see both of you. Hope you both have a very happy and safe holiday season.
Thank you.
You too.
All right, take it easy now. That is Erin Phillips and Brianna Del Valle, some alumnus from our women's basketball team. We're going to take a short break and be back with the producers to wrap up today's show. We'll be right back.
So you want to be a Seahawk? Let's make sure you wash your hands, keep your distance, wear your mask, and love your Seahawks.
Sammy, no mask?
Come on, Sammy. I know it's pumpkin spice season, but you can't bring drinks to class.
We have simple rules here, Sammy. Get out. Come back when you can follow them.
You gotta take care of yourself and others, even if you are Sammy the Seahawk.
All right, welcome back to Seahawk Talk. I'm your host, Andrew Pizzelli. Want to bring back in the producers now, Joey Morelli and Mike DeFusco, to round out today's program. Fellas, I always like to get your thoughts first on anything that our guests had to say here today.
It's awesome to have. So I feel like not every, obviously, but most of the alumnus we speak to who come back are all education or like nursing majors. I think Salve is like pretty much supplying the front lines of the pandemic right now.
Yeah.
And just so, I mean, that's just awesome to see. And that's the type of person that I think gets created here at Salve. So great to see two more people on the front lines doing good things right now.
What I don't understand, those are like the most work-intensive majors. How the heck do they do that and sports? You're right, like they're all like, oh yeah, I'm nursing and or education. It's like, how? I could probably barely do one of that. And
no, it's incredible. I mean, and we saw yesterday watching that TED Talk the toll that can take as well. You know.
Yeah, that definitely gives anxiety. I mean, I played sports here, but I didn't major, and I can't imagine if I was a nursing major. Even like the bio department here is difficult. So that just, I mean, that you have to really know how to manage your time to do that.
Exactly. What else do you guys have here to close out today's program and send us into the weekend as well?
Yeah, I feel like I might have been a little harsh, or we might have been a little harsh on the Patriots earlier. So I just wanted to kind of remind people the last time the Patriots played the Rams, or the last couple times the Patriots have played the Rams. This is, our Super Bowl win, Tom Brady's first. And then the most recent time we played the Rams before that is, I believe, Jared Goff. Oops, wrong one, but you get the idea. So Patriots fans, we still have two Super Bowl wins, so don't be disappointed about last night.
From that game, that first Super Bowl versus the Rams, Kurt Warner in the greatest show on turf, the Patriots, I think, had won like 8 straight games against the St. Louis/Los Angeles Rams.
That's right.
Until last night. Listen, New England has been spoiled. My dad has been a Patriots fan his whole life. Our family got season's tickets in the team's second ever year of existence. My grandfather got tickets in 1960. My dad told me growing up, enjoy these days. In the 70s and 80s, he couldn't beg people to come to games with him for free. Hey, you want to go to a Patriots game? You want free tickets? Come. And we had great seats. 10 rows back from the 10-yard line, like awesome seats. I got something to go. I gotta get my teeth pulled. I don't want to go. I can't go to a Patriots game. Obviously, the last 20 years, New England fans have been incredibly spoiled. Now, I think as long as Bill Belichick's around and the Crafts own the team, I don't think they'll ever go back to the dark days of the Patriots, where you had the stands on fire and guys coming out of the woodwork, being pulled off a street to come and play in a game that's happening right then and there. I don't think it'll ever return to those sorts of NFL follies type of days. But the dark days are coming again for New England, and it's okay. It was unprecedented with Brady and Belichick. So it's like the Matrix. It's the equation balancing itself. You can only be so good for so long. It's going to swing back the other way. And guess what? When the world gets back to normal and the Patriots are 8-8, tickets will be cheap again. So I'll get to go to a game again in person.
Yes, very true. You never know what you have until it's gone. I guess those old sayings are just the truest ones.
Exactly.
I mean, we're like doing this to the Patriots, and we've talked about the Dolphins. Have the Dolphins lost yet at all? We were talking about how they were like unbeatable or whatever. What we haven't talked about, the Jets are 0-12. I didn't know that at the day. One of you guys just kind of slipped it in, and then we didn't talk about it. I'm like,
no, they're well. That's what I said. The Jets game. I want the Patriots' current backup, Jarrett Stidham, to get action in meaningful games. The Patriots play the Jets in the last game of the season. That is not a meaningful game. playing essentially a JV football team is not meaningful action. So
It's
apologies to all the
practice.
Jets fans out there, but they know I'm not wrong. So.
Oh, I think they're used to it at this point.
If you're 0-12.
And they haven't fired their coach, Joey. Want to know why? Because he's doing his job, which is to lose every game to get the top draft pick. The Jaguars are right on their tail at 1-11.
It's not going to help. The Jets, they can get whatever draft pick they want. It's not going to help.
So, anyways. Any other last things, or are we set to head into the weekend, fellas?
I'll end with, this is a weekend event, so I'll end with it. It was the thing I had at the beginning before I got that email. Newport's Holly Jolly drive-thru is postponed to Sunday because I guess it's going to rain today. I don't know. You two can confirm that.
Tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe Andrew's correct right there. Tonight and tomorrow.
I think I have to assume it was supposed to be tomorrow from 1 to 3, but now it's Sunday from 1 to 3. So not really all that different, but they don't want. I mean, everyone's being in a car already. I guess it's for the actors. I'm not sure 100% what they're doing because they're being kind of secretive, but it's similar to, if we remember, the Halloween type event thing that we had. It's basically the same thing, but Christmas themed, and they got like Christmas lights and some other things, and they got a special guest at the end. Ooh, I wonder who it could be. And
Scott Barrett.
Well, it could be him. He jumps out in a Santa suit. You never know.
It could be Scott Barrett. We don't know who the guest is. It could be anybody.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it'll probably be cool. I'm sure Monday we'll have pictures I could probably show.
Yes.
So that'll be
for
fun.
Sure. Awesome. Cool. Fellas, great job this week. Great work as always. Hope you two have a happy and safe weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
All right. That's Joey Morelli and Mike DeFusco, the producers here on Seahawk Talk. I want to thank our guests once again today. We had Zach Kalon, David Lunn, and then 2 alumnus of our women's basketball team, Aaron Phillips and Brianna Del Valle. Really great. And it was awesome to get and catch up with them as well. We are live every day, 3 to 4 p.m. on the Salve Athletics Network. You can like, follow, and subscribe to us on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope through Twitter to never miss a show. You can watch any past episode of the show on those platforms. And also you can subscribe to the Seahawk Talk podcast through Sounder FM, wherever you get your podcast from, to take Seahawk Talk on the go. That'll do it for us here this week. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm Andy Pizzelli, and we'll talk to you on Monday.